Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Hope you're well. We are in the Build a Roman Dome and Columns, and this is a complete walkthrough on how to create this so that there is something for you to rely on as you go and build this. It's probably on your iPad while you're building on the Macs. So I want to go to the Roman column first, and the next video will be part two. So in part one, let's go and resume because I've just started it. We can go and have a look to see what is happening in here. So let's have a look to see what we're making. We are making a Roman column. If we look closely, you can see that there are some oblongs at the top and the bottom. That's simply these boxes, and they're squished and recolored. We've got some what's called a torus at the bottom here, and so it's repeated at the top. And then inside here, we've got some cylinders, some very slim cylinders that are hollows, and it's all grouped, and so it cuts out these shapes. It's rather nice. Let's go and have a look, see what's going next. Next, we're going to go and make this. So we need a cylinder to begin with. The size at the moment doesn't really matter. We can go and resize things later on. Let's go and create this. Let's pull in a cylinder to begin with. Like I said, the size doesn't really matter at the moment. While we're doing this, we can move this around and have a look, see what's going on. Let's go and see the sizes. It says make the cylinder's diameter smaller, about 6 millimeters. So we can go and have a look at this. Make the height about 5 times bigger than the diameter. Okay, let's go next to see what we've got here. What are we making? We want this cylinder, and we want to go and duplicate this. So we're going to go and duplicate it. And we are making the smaller holes here. So you can see that these are going to be the things that are going to be inserted into this main cylinder, this main shaft. Okay, so if I just zoom out of here for a second, let's go make this 100. Let's go and make the diameter, that'll be okay, I think. We go and grab a cylinder, a hollow cylinder. This is going to be very small, so I'm going to make this 5. So they are going to sit in here. So they can sit, because we're going to go and group these later on, so they can sit a little bit higher if you want. That's all fine. And then we're going to go and duplicate it. Now I did say that we can duplicate using the Alt key. So you can hold down Alt and pull this out like this, and you can make multiples, or you can use the duplicate key if you wish, which is Control D. Let's go next. Let's go see what's in the picture. Okay, so now they're using the Align tool. So we want to go and align this, and we can use the Align tool, which is, if you remember in the tutorial, is this button here, the Align, and we can go and align these. I'm just going to grab this, hold down Shift, and you can select this, and then we can use the Align tool. So we can move them in and then align them like that. So let's go next, because in the image it should give us a clear picture of what we're going to do. So this is called the snap grid, and this allows us to use our arrows. And you can see the snap grid goes from 5 millimeters all the way through to 0.1 millimeters. That 0.1 millimeter just allows us to go and move things in chunks. So if I use 5 millimeters, for example, you'll be able to see that I can use my arrow keys and it jumps 5 millimeters. If I put it down to 0.1, you'll notice that this moves very, very tiny, and it moves by these measurements on these grids here. So we have 10 squares. 0.1 is one of these squares here, so it'll move sort of very tinily over a tiny chunk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see that's 0.1. If we put 1 millimeter, it will jump 1 square completely, like that. So that's how it moves. Okay, so I'm going to go and put these together in a second. So it's going to end up looking like this. And this is what the top's going to look like. And we're going to go and use a kind of cross section here, and we'll have a bunch that is in sets of 2, so 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's go and have a look. So we'll have this sort of clock face. You can see how they're putting them together like this. So I'm going to go and put them together like this, and then show you how this works. So I put them together now, and what I can do now is when I grab them and select them, I can rotate these by 45 degrees. So I just use that rotation tool on the inside, and it's going to turn them so that my cylinder can move with this cylinder inside. If you make a mistake, don't forget, if you make a mistake, whoops, you can always just undo and it comes back to how it was. So let's just go and pull this in. Using my arrow keys, I've got this at 1mm. I'll put this a bit shorter so I've got more control. I'm going to use duplicate, and then I'm going to start using the align tool in a second so I can start to move things around. So what I'm going to do now is just select these and rotate them. And what I'm going to do is put them like this and pull these down just so that they look very similar to the others. I want 8 in total, so I can duplicate all these and turn these around. So I've got 4 now. And what I'm going to do is just select those 2 like that. I'm just going to drag my mouse through the middle of them. I can go and use my shift key like I've done in the tutorials before. And then I'm going to go and align those like that. So you can see that when I go and use that center align, you can see where it's going to go like that. Now all I can do is select these and just rotate them. I can duplicate them and rotate them by 45 degrees, and it means that the 45 degrees are going to sit inside these blank spaces. So I'm going to hold down shift and select all 4 of my empty columns now. I'm just going to go and just move them to see if I've got them all in total. No. I'm going to go and just take a little bit more time. Like that. And I'm just going to go and test by pulling it out. I can always undo. Yes. So I've just pulled it out just to test that I've got all 4 pieces selected. I'm going to go and duplicate. In fact, I'm just going to do Shift D, like it says on here, Control D, sorry. And then I can pull that out. What I want to do now is just rotate this by 45 degrees. Like that's going to snap. I can pull my shapes back in. Like that. And I should have them, if I select my orange main column as well, I can start to align this. Just make sure that things are aligned. There we go. Now, let's see what they say next. So I wanted to select all these cylinders together and group them like this, and it's going to cut out all the circles out of it. Let's go and do that now. And it should cut them out like that. Next, I need a box and a torus because I'm going to go and use this onto the box. I need to go and flatten it, so I need those shapes. Look, let's have a look to see what I need. You can see that my cylinder is much bigger than the others, but it's fine. Let's get this moved out of the way so we can see what's going on. Let's go make that 5mm. I'm going to bring that into my shape there. I'm going to align them. There we go. Make sure I can select this. Whoops. Bring that into here. And then realign them. That's more like it. Then I need to duplicate that. I'm going to go and group this and give it a color like they've done in the tutorial. I can align those like that. And what I want to do is select those two together, group them. Now what I can do here is when I grab this vertical pull, this Z-axis pull tool, I can use Alt on this and I can pull it all the way to the top like that, and it duplicates it as it goes up the column. When I bring it to here, all I want to do now is just rotate it 180 degrees, and then I have a column. You can see that it's not all aligned, so let's go and align all these. Use the Align tool and pull it all together. There we go. That looks okay. Let's go and see what they say in the next couple of motions. There we go, look, you can duplicate that and move it around and rotate it, and we end up with that column when we group it and give it a sandy color. So I'm going to select everything, change my sand color and group it all together. Then I'm ready to go and duplicate these, ready for my my dome in the next video. All right, as always, good luck.